Hi, this is Polly back again, and welcome to Lesson 3, where we'll cover factoring by grouping. Again, this is a series of lessons where we're learning how to factor quadratic expressions, and grouping is one way to do that. If we have a list of, say, 4 terms, 12x squared plus 15x plus 8x plus 10, we're going to group the first 2 terms together and then group the second 2 terms. We'll look at the first 2 terms and decide what the greatest common factor is. To me, it looks like it's a 3 and an x. And then we'll group 8x plus 10 together and look for the greatest common factor, which is a 2. Now we'll undistribute the 3x from the first 2 terms and the 2 from the second 2 terms. So we write 3x times the quantity, what's left when we divide 3x out of those 2 terms, 4x plus 5. Then we write the plus 2, and what's left when we divide 2 out of those 2 terms, 4x plus 5. Now you'll notice 4x plus 5 is a common factor in both terms, so we write that out front, and then our second factor is whatever is left, the 3x plus 2. So let's try it again. 6x squared plus 8x will group together with 9, and 9x plus 12 will group together. The greatest common factor in the first 2 terms is a 2 and an x, and the greatest common factor in the next 2 terms is a 3. When I write the 2x out front, I undistribute it from the 6x squared plus 8x, and I'm left with 3x plus 4. And when I write the 3 out front and undistribute it from the 9x plus 12, I'm left with the same thing, 3x plus 4. So now 3x plus 4 is a common factor to both terms. I write that down, and then the second factor is what's left, 2x plus 3. So if I were to multiply those two binomial terms, I would get what I started with. And let's try it one more time. Grouping 8x squared plus 12x, they have a common factor of 4x. And then 6x minus 9 have a common factor of negative 3. Now one trick there is when I undistribute the negative 3, it changes that minus 9 into a plus 3. You notice how the sign changes because I'm dividing out a negative. So how can we check that that factoring is correct? If we just take those 2 binomials and multiply them, we should end up with what we started with, 8x squared plus 12x minus 6x minus 9, which you can see that's what happens, and if you try it out, that's what will work. So one thing is that you can check your answers when you're factoring by grouping. So now you're ready to try the practice set, and then you'll really understand what this whole process of factoring by grouping is about. And then finally, lesson 4 will bring everything together.